Part 113. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 1121. The martial arts achievements of Yang Taixin and Guo Xiaotian are certainly not worth mentioning in Huang Yaoxi's eyes. However, their loyalty is still worthy of admiration. As a top master of martial arts, there are few people in the world whose martial arts can be taken seriously by Huang Yaoxi. Instead, he values Xingxing more. After half listening to the story told by Nan Ziren, Dong Xia had a pretty good first impression of Guo Yang, Qiu Chuji, and even the 7 monsters of Jiangnan who had been hiding in the desert for 18 years. Of course, given Huang Yaoxi's high level of vision, this first impression was no more than a good one. Nan Ziren said to Guo Jing, your mother has told you this story countless times. You are a descendant of Guo Xiaotian. Do you know who the descendants of Yang Taixin are? As soon as these words came out, Ke Zhenyi and others were also shocked. At that time, Qiu Chuji sent Yin's Hyping into the desert to deliver a message. He only said that he had found the descendants of the Yang family, but did not say who they were. Except for Nan Ziren, no one else knows about the Jiangnan 7 monsters. I saw Nan Ziren pointing at the little prince of the kingdom of Jin and saying, after the tragedy that year, Yang Taixin's wife was coaxed into becoming a princess by Wanyan Hongli, king of Zhao of the kingdom of Jin. This little prince Wanyankang was Yang Taixin's descendant. Whose real name should be Yankang? Ah! What? Seriously? Everyone present exclaimed. Only a few astute people have guessed 3 points of the inside story. For example, Huang Yaoxi and his daughter, Lu Changfeng, Zhu Kong and Yang Kong himself. Li Ping only knew that her enemy was Duan Tian, and knew nothing about Wanyan Hongli who was hiding behind her. Xiaoming naturally knew the inside story, so he told the secret from his own mouth without interrogating Duan Tian. Immediately, some people scolded Wanyan Hongli for being despicable and shameless, criticized Bao Ziruo for losing his virginity to an enemy, and others accused Yankong of recognizing a thief and becoming his father. Yankong actually understood. According to the story that Nan Ziren told just now, Wanyan Hongli is indeed unreasonable. Thinking of some of the past between his father and his mother, Yankong could tell that what Nan Ziren said must be the truth. But as Yankong is the young prince of the Jin kingdom, he does not recognize the moral standards of the Han people. He is not ashamed of things like taking things by force, but rather proud of them. In particular, Wanyan Hongli did not regard him as an outsider at all, but treated him as his own and doted on him in every possible way, which moved Yankong very much. His father, queen, mother, and concubines were the closest people to Yankong and could not tolerate being reviled by others. But now he was under the eaves and had to bow his head. Besides, if he hadn't been a descendant of Yang Taixin, he would probably be dead by now. So when it's time to be timid, you still have to be patient. Nancy Ren didn't want Bao Ziruo to suffer too much infamy, so she tried to persuade her. Brothers, Mrs. Yang was just deceived by that thief Wanyan Hongli and does not know the real situation. It is not easy for a weak woman to raise her son. Marrying Wanyan Hongli was also a last resort. It was all for the sake of leaving a family for the Yang family before she committed herself to Wanyan Hongli. It's actually quite respectable. And this kid Yankong has been kept in the dark all this time, and no one has told him the truth. It can't be said that he recognized the thief as his father. When everyone heard it, they thought it made sense. Yankong could be considered a loyal queen, so it would be inappropriate to scold the mother and son too harshly. So everyone tried their best to persuade Yankong, but Yankong just nodded frequently. But he did not fully express his position. Ke Zhenyi was impatient and struck the ground hard with his iron staff, which actually shattered a large piece of the ground. He shouted loudly, Yankong, please say something nice. Are you willing to recognize your ancestor and return to the clan, and kill Wanyan Hongli to avenge your father? This attack was so powerful that Huang Yaoxi's master and apprentice hiding in the tree were moved. Mei Chaofeng felt that Ke Zhenyi's martial arts had also improved greatly now, and lamented that it would not be easy to seek revenge in the future. Huang Yaoxi discovered for the first time that the martial arts of the 7 Jiangnan monsters were quite good, and even this blind man's skills were not weaker than those of his disciples. It is also very rare for the Jiangnan 7 monsters and their ilk to be able to practice to this level. If Nanziren's skills were similar, it would be enough to be an elder of the beggar clan. When Yang saw Ke Zhen's ferocious look, he was so frightened that his legs went weak. Now that you've decided to give in, don't be cautious. He quickly knelt on the ground and cried bitterly, "Seniors, Yang is naturally willing to recognize his ancestors and return to the clan. In the future, he will definitely." He was about to tell the lie that he was willing to kill Wanyan Hongli for revenge, but he was stopped by Nanziren. "Very good. Yang, it would be great if you are willing to recognize your ancestors and become a descendant of the Han family again. After all, Wanyan Hongli has given you 18 years of upbringing. It is not appropriate for you to kill him. If you kill him, I'm afraid you should repay him with your own life, but instead the Yang family will be wiped out. Let Jing take care of the matter of revenge." When Ke Zhenyi and others heard what the fourth brother said, they immediately felt that it made sense. If it were him, he would kill his adoptive father to avenge his biological father for the sake of justice. But after that, he must die to apologize to his adoptive father for his 18 years of upbringing. Not repaying kindness is a waste of life. For this matter, if a generation of heroes Yang is allowed to rise again, he will never succeed. This is not the behavior of a loyal, filial, and righteous person. As expected, the fourth child was knowledgeable and thoughtful, and it would be most appropriate to let Guo Jing do the revenge for Yan Hongli. How did they know that Yang would not kill Wanyan Hongli, let alone commit suicide? After tonight, he was afraid that he would have to tell the truth. Seeing Yang Kang's eyes twinkling, Xiaoming could guess what he was thinking. In fact, it is in line with Xiaoming's own ideas. Wanyan Hongli is still useful to me, so I don't plan to kill him now. However, Xiaoming doesn't need to protect him specially. The game system will automatically handle this matter. It won't be so easy for him to die before he dies. Let's deal with Duan Tian's matter first. Nanziren said to everyone present. "I have good news for you. The court official we captured is Duan Tian, that bastard. What do you think we should do?" Duan Tian has been in fear since he was arrested and imprisoned. At this time, he was brought out by Nanziren and heard a story. How could he not know that a disaster was coming? He kept silent because he hoped that these people in the world would not kill him if they didn't know his name. It's a pity that it was wishful thinking after all. It turned out that the big man named Nanziren knew his details a long time ago. He even knew the old things 18 years ago. At this time, when he heard Nanziren mention his name, he was so scared that he urinated and kowtowed like pounding garlic. He begged for mercy repeatedly, and put all the blame on Wanyan Hongli. He told how Wanyan Hongli had taken a fancy to Yang Taixin's wife Bao, how he colluded with the Song dynasty government and ordered soldiers to go to Niojia village to kill Yang and Guo. He then pretended to be brave and rushed out to rescue Bao, and a series of other things. He kept emphasizing that he was forced. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 1122. Duan Tian here has been blaming Wanyan Hongli. Although it is true, Yang Kang is not willing to listen. Xiaoming saw that Yang Kang's anger level exploded, and he estimated that the next moment would be the same as the original plot, and he would kill Duan Tian. But you can't let him kill this person, you have to show your martial arts. Show it to the spying Huang Yaoxi, don't treat us Jiangnan 7 monsters as salted fish. So Nanziren took the lead and struck out with the palm of his right hand, which was the famous move in the 18 dragon subduing palms. A strong dragon has regrets. Xiaoming's palm skills were far inferior to Hong Qigong in terms of subtlety, but his inner strength was still stronger than Hong Qigong's. This palm was extremely powerful. Blood spurted out from Duan Tian's mouth, and he was killed in mid-air by his palm. The corpse was knocked 10 feet away, and fell to the ground with broken bones and tendons. What a great palm technique! Fourth brother, is this the famous 18 dragon subduing palms? Your internal strength. Zhu Kong reacted the fastest and cheered loudly. Nanziren and Guojing had learned the 18 dragon subduing palms, and just now Guojing quietly reported it to several masters. Only when I saw it with my own eyes did I realize that it was indeed a powerful martial arts. It is indeed the famous trick of the 5 ultimate skills of the Central Plains. Moreover, looking at this power, Zhu Kong knew that in the past 2 or 3 years, the fourth brother's internal strength of the longevity secret had greatly improved. When the fourth brother left the desert with Yin's hyping, his internal strength was still inferior to that of himself and others. Unexpectedly, in just over 2 years since they were separated, the fourth brother's internal strength has already surpassed that of himself and others, and has reached an extremely high level. The fourth brother is indeed a person favored by God. The speed of this internal strength improvement is so terrifying. No wonder I had such an unexpected encounter and obtained the secret of immortality back then. It's just a matter of internal strength. It's hard to talk about it in front of so many people, so Zhu Kong kept his mouth shut as soon as he mentioned it. Kei Zhenyi and others reacted a little slowly, but they had exactly the same idea as Zhu Kong. They are all happy for their brothers. Little did they know that it took Xiaoming not 2 years to develop this skill, but it took 15 years for both bodies to develop it. Added together, that's 30 years of skill. He has just caught up with the 5 ultimates of the Central Plains. Lu Chengfeng had already known that Nangzi Ren had great internal strength, but this was also the first time he saw Nangzi Ren attack with all his strength, and he was shocked by the unparalleled palm power. Not to mention the juniors like Guo, Huang, Mu, Lu, and Yang. Everyone was stunned. Fortunately for Guojing, Huang Rong, and Mu Nianzi, they had watched Hong Qigong and Nanziren practice the 18 dragon subduing palms more than once. However, this was the first time that the 3 of them saw Nanziren attack with all his strength and kill another living person. The scene was indeed shocking. Not to mention Lu Guining and Yang Kong. They had never seen such a powerful palm in their lives. Lu Guining was immediately excited that he had a good master, while Yang Kong remained silent and felt uneasy. This level of force was too much of a deterrent to him. He had originally planned to save Wanyan Hongli, but now he was a little at a loss. At this moment, I heard someone talking in the distance. What a great palm technique! What a great internal strength! How about I give you a lesson? As soon as he finished saying this short sentence, he had already arrived in the hall at an extremely fast speed. The man was tall and thin, wearing a blue cloth robe and a human skin mask on his face. He looked like an evil ghost and was very scary. This human skin mask was originally not easy to see through. Xiaoming had known it for a long time, and the 7 Jiangnan monsters had deep enough internal skills to see it. If they were still the 7 monsters of Jiangnan 18 years ago, they would not have noticed that this person was actually wearing a mask. If this person is not Huang Yaoshi, who could he be? Xiaoming plays Nanziren, showing the same skill as the 5 great masters of the Central Plains, and his original intention is to suppress Huang Yaoshi. Otherwise, it would be too troublesome if he doesn't show mercy to the Jiangnan 7 monsters because of Chen Xuanfeng's affairs. Therefore, before Huang Yaoshi learned that the 7 monsters had killed Chen Xianfeng, he had to show great strength. In the original work, Huang Yaoshi wanted to kill the 7 Jiangnan monsters several times for Chen Xianfeng. Mainly because the 7 monsters were not good at martial arts and could not kill someone in a fair duel. He felt that Chen Xuanfeng's death was a bit unfair. Now I see that each of the 7 monsters of Jiangnan is as good as Chen Xianfeng, and this Nanziren even has the ability to rival herself. If Chen Xianfeng died in their hands, it would not be considered unlucky. It can only be said to be the normal fate of those who practice martial arts. Faced with such Jiangnan 7 monsters, Huang Yaoshi did not dare to utter wild words. Besides, if others cannot kill people from Peach Blossom Island, then it would be inappropriate. What's more, at this time, Huang Yaoshi didn't know that Chen Xianfeng died at the hands of the Jiangnan 7 monsters. At this time, Huang Yaoshi still had a good impression of the 7 monsters of Jiangnan. First of all, Nancy Ren took the lead and left a good first impression. After all, it was Xinglan's holy hand that healed Lu Chenfeng's legs. Huang Yaoshi knew that he still needed help from him. Secondly, Kei Zhen and others treat their daughter Huang Rong very well. The 7 freaks of Jiangnan and Jiangning have been together for a long time, and they still have some unique skills in pleasing little girls. Besides, everyone has not seen Jiangning for a long time. Now that they meet Huang Rong, it is inevitable that their love for Jiangning will be transferred to Huang Rong. As the father-in-law, Huang Yaoshi was a little disgusted with Guo Jing, the neither son-in-law, and felt that he had robbed his daughter. But the Jiangnan 7 monsters treat his daughter as a junior, so he won't have that annoying mentality. The difference between these is still very subtle. In fact, he had just secretly learned a few tricks to coax his daughter from Zhu Kong and others. He was thinking about how to try them out in the future. Once again, the story that Nanziren just told moved him. Although Huang Yaoshi didn't say it, he admired the 7 freaks of Jiangnan for their righteous act of traveling to the desert for 18 years for the orphan of the hero. Finally, the palm strike by Nanziren determined the tone of Huang Yaoshi's treatment of the 7 freaks of Jiangnan. These are people who can stand on equal footing with him. Among the 5 great masters of the Central Plains, Wang Chongyang is dead, and Huang Yaoshi has seen the martial arts of the other 3. Huang Laoxi was delighted to see such a strong newcomer suddenly appear, so he took the initiative to run out and ask for a competition. Huang Yaoshi had seen the 18 dragon subduing palms used by Nanziren. However, when the Huashan sword contest was held, Hong Kigong had not yet mastered this palm method. Huang Yaoshi had never seen the full version. Seeing Nanziren use it today, the power is strong and the palm technique is exquisite. Dong Xia can't help but feel itchy, and he must try it. In addition, he also wants Nanziren to see the exquisite skills of Peach Blossom Island, so that he can use this to lure Nanziren to help. As for Mei Chaofeng, before Huang Yaoshi appeared, he used the finger magic to shoot stones and hit Mei Chaofeng's acupuncture points, causing her to fall under the tree and unable to move. After that, he ignored her. Let this evil disciple be bitten by various snakes, insects, rats and ants in the grass for a while, which is not a big deal. It won't be too late to deal with Mei Chaofeng after he fights with Nanziren. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhenshen. Chapter 1123. How can I describe the battle between Nanziren and Huang Yaoshi? He was so passive that it was a bit embarrassing. However, no one laughed at him. After all, he was fighting against the top masters in the martial arts world. Others wanted to embarrass themselves but had no chance. This East Evil's fighting style was the most technically difficult for Xiaoming to deal with. His palm technique was like falling petals, with palm shadows in all directions, 5 virtual and 1 real, or 8 virtual and 1 real, like a sudden gust of wind in a peach forest, with all the flowers falling. The beauty was that his posture was elegant, as if he was dancing, and his palm was as sharp as a sword. Watching this palm technique, Xiaoming had a sense of déjà vu of seeing the beginning of the release of the Zanpakuto Senbonzakura. Among the 5 great masters of the Central Plains, except Wang Chongyang, the East Evil Huang Yaoshi was the one who restrained Xiao Ming the most. Others, Hong Kigong's 18 dragon subduing palms, Wang Feng's toad skill, and Master Yideng's one yang finger, were all relatively straightforward fighting styles. Although the skills of these three people are also superb, otherwise they can't be as famous as Dong Xie, but they are more accustomed to the straightforward fighting style. There is a combination of virtual and real, but unlike Huang Yaoshi's Kung Fu, almost all of them are virtual. Only Huang Yaoshi's Kung Fu is all technical, and he doesn't seem to have that kind of direct tricks at all. Slightly lacking in the ability to attack. Dong Xie, 11 Du, Nan De, Bei Beggar, the four people are equally matched. The battle between them is naturally a match made in heaven. However, Nan Ziren is 2 or 3 levels behind in terms of skills. With his skills, he can barely deal with Bei Beggar, 11 Du, and Nan De. With the advantage in internal strength, he may be able to defeat the opponent. After all, Xiao Ming is better in a protracted battle. In terms of long breath and endless internal strength, Chang Shengju is really excellent. What's more, Xiao Ming has other bodies, which can run Chang Shengju together to replenish his internal strength. But when it comes to dealing with Huang Yaoshi, Xiao Ming's skills are equivalent to nothing. So the battle scene between him and Huang Yaoshi is not very good. Nan Ziren learned the fighting style from his apprentice Guo Jing, just using the 18 dragon subduing palms from beginning to end, over and over again. Anyway, there are no major flaws in this set of palm techniques, and my internal strength is very sufficient, so let's fight him and see who can outlast the other. Xiao Ming himself is not as stupid as Guo Jing, but when facing Huang Yaoshi, his brain is not much different from Guo Jing's. It is important for people to know themselves. Xiao Ming knows that he cannot compete with Huang Yaoshi in terms of skills. If he really does that, he will be completely defeated. Huang Laoxie is a little disappointed. What he wants is a fight between dragons and tigers that are evenly matched. Not this kind of dull and boring battle. Seeing that Nan Ziren, like a turtle, used the palm power of the 18 dragon subduing palms to cover himself with an extremely hard shell. He shrank back into his shell and refused to show his head. No matter how Huang Yaoshi tempted him or how he exposed his flaws, Nan Ziren would not be fooled. He did not seek merit but only to avoid mistakes. He was so uncomfortable. Huang Laoxi wanted to try to break through this turtle shell, but he did not have a strong enough ability to attack. It was like a mouse pulling a turtle. The 18 dragon subduing palms were indeed very exquisite. Huang Yaoshi could not think of a way to break through Nan Ziren's defense circle for a moment. However, Dongzi himself was not in any danger and completely took the initiative, advancing and retreating freely. He thought that in terms of internal energy consumption, this style of fighting should be his advantage, so it would be better to wear Nan Ziren down. As a result, after fighting for more than half an hour, Nan Ziren was still vigorous and his palm power did not decrease at all. On the contrary, Huang Yaoshi, although he consumed very little, was a little tired. He was secretly shocked. Isn't the internal energy of this elder Nan Ziren too deep? If they continue to fight like this, who knows who will be defeated first? It's better to stop while you are ahead. So he retreated a few feet away, stopped fighting, and ended the game in a draw. Everyone present could see that Nan Ziren was completely passive. Huang Yaoshi obviously had the upper hand. Only Huang Yaoshi himself knew that if they continued to fight, the situation would turn to Nan Ziren. After this battle, Xiao Ming also found that he seemed to have crossed a special threshold in terms of martial arts. Before, because his internal strength was too low and other supernatural energies were too strong. When Xiao Ming was practicing, his internal strength was always covered by other energies, causing Xiao Ming's body and mind to automatically ignore the internal strength. It was impossible to practice in reality. So Xiao Ming could only practice the Chang Shengju Genkai through the game cabin of the martial arts planet or the suppression of the reincarnation space. So Xiao Ming took advantage of the suppression of the reincarnation space and spent 15 years to practice his internal strength to the current level. Although the reserve of Changsheng Ju Genkai is still not as good as other supernatural energies, it is no longer so easy to be covered up and automatically ignored. This is all because of the energy network that Xiao Ming built in several bodies, which are the silver network, green network, and yellow network. Now Xiao Ming's red network is still slowly being built. Originally, Xiao Ming's various supernatural energies did not interfere with each other, and each one had to be specially cultivated to improve the quality and increase the capacity, upper limit. So Xiao Ming used the source energy to connect all the supernatural energies together. An energy network was formed in each body. Because supernatural energies flow and transform each other continuously, over time, all energy limits are automatically pulled to a relatively close level. In other words, although there are still differences in quality between different types of energy, the capacity is basically at the level of 7th level/a level. Unfortunately, Xiao Ming's internal force was too little at the beginning, and it was only at the E level. Compared with other surging energies, it was just a speck of dust. So even Xiao Ming did not regard internal force as a kind of supernatural energy, and did not merge it into the energy network. Besides, the upgraded version of internal force is spiritual power, and spiritual power has long been integrated into the energy network. This makes internal force lose the opportunity to go online forever. In the final analysis, internal force is just a low-end supernatural energy. The upper limit is too low to be high-end. In fact, if Xiao Ming did not want to do something in the secret realm of the martial arts planet game, he would not have to practice internal force at all. Now Xiao Ming has practiced internal skills to the level of the 5 wonders of the central planes, which means he has reached the level of 4th level/D level. This level of internal force is still not worth mentioning compared with other energies, but it will no longer be automatically ignored. Now, Xiao Ming can also practice internal force in reality. In this matter, the combat power suppression equipment that Xiao Ming brought back from Pandora helped a lot. When the device is activated, all kinds of supernatural energy in the body are suppressed. When it is suppressed below level B, the internal force becomes more obvious. Xiao Ming really wants to see where the upper limit of internal force is after practicing. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 1124. Huang Yaoshi, nicknamed Eastern Evil, is one of the 5 great masters of the Central Plains. He is the owner of Peach Blossom Island in the East China Sea. He is well versed in astronomy, geography, the 5 elements and 8 diagrams, Kimandungia, calligraphy and painting, and even farmland irrigation, economics, and military strategies. His martial arts are the best in the world. It is said that he fought with Nan Ziren and used many magical skills of Peach Blossom Island. Lu Chengfeng and Huang Rong are not blind and have long seen the true identity of this masked man. If Huang and Nan had not fought fiercely, Huang Rong would have rushed up to act like a spoiled child. Seeing the powerful palm wind of Nan Ziren, she was afraid of distracting her father. If her father was injured, it would be bad. Therefore, she insisted on holding back and did not scream. Little did she know that Nan Ziren only looked fierce, while Huang Yaoshi was actually able to move freely and safely. As soon as the battle was over, little Huang Rong shouted "Daddy," jumped up, and tore off her father's human skin mask. Huang Yaoshi was thin, handsome, elegant, and as pure as a god. He was not like a filthy person in the world. The 7 freaks of Jiangnan and several younger generations were intimidated by his demeanor and did not speak for a while. Looking at little Huang Rong and then at Huang Yaoshi, everyone nodded in admiration. Only such a chic and elegant person can give birth to such a smart and beautiful daughter. Fortunately, the 4th child and the East Evil fought equally, putting some gold on their face, otherwise how would they have the nerve to ask for marriage in the future? At this time, Lu Chengfeng also threw away his crutches, rushed forward a few steps, knelt on the ground, and only uttered the word master in his mouth, and then burst into tears. Huang Yaoshi cut his tendons, so that he had to use a wheelchair for more than 10 years. But Lu Chengfeng still had no complaints about his master, and he really had a deep relationship between master and apprentice. When the master and the apprentice and the father and daughter met, they naturally had a warm welcome. Lu Chengfeng called his son Lu Guining over to kowtow to the master. Just now, Lu Guining had called Nanziren master several times, and Huang Yaoshi had long known that he had become a disciple of Nanziren. After thinking about it, he felt that this was not an insult to Lu Guining. At this time, he raised his hand to lift Lu Guining up and took the opportunity to test him. But he was surprised to find that there was a rather strange true qi in Lu Guining's body. The amount of true qi was not much, which showed that the time of cultivation was very short. But this true qi was extremely pure and even better than what he had learned. He knew immediately that it was a superior internal skill. No need to ask, this internal skill must have been taught by Nanziren. It was really amazing. The future of this disciple will be limitless in the future. This shows that Nanziren not only saved his apprentice, but also gave him a very profound internal skill, without hiding anything. This kindness is really great. Although Huang Yaoshi has a stubborn temper, he still knows what is good and what is bad. He took the initiative to bow to Nanziren and thank him. Xiaoming quickly returned the greeting. Lu Chengfeng didn't know before that the dragon elephant Prajna Kung Fu that Nanziren passed on to his son was actually a peerless magic skill. Now seeing that even his master was moved by it, he hurriedly brought his son to thank him again. In fact, he had already thanked him when he passed on the skills, but he didn't pay so much attention at that time. Lu Chengfeng didn't expect Nanziren to pass on such a profound skill. Several people thanked each other, and it was lively for a while. With Nanziren's status in Luyezhuang, he already had his own courtyard and many servants to serve him. Lu Chengfeng settled the Jiangnan 7 freaks in Nanziren's courtyard. He also welcomed the master and the junior sister to the inner hall. They still had a lot of intimate things to say. The Jiangnan 7 freaks were the same. The brothers hadn't seen each other for a long time, and gathered in Nanziren's house to talk about what happened after they separated. Guojing, Yangkang, and Mu Nianzi, the 3 younger generations, yawned after serving for a while, and were driven back to sleep by Zhu Kong. The 5 monsters talked all night. Last night, Huang Yaoshi held his daughter and talked with Lu Chengfeng until dawn, mainly asking how Nanziren treated him. During this period, Huang Yaoshi did not forget Mei Chaofeng, and ordered his apprentice to send Lu's servants to lock Mei Chaofeng up. In the original novel, Qiu Qinren lied that Huang Yaoshi was killed by the 7 sons of Quan Zhen and Hong Qigong. As a result, Mei Chaofeng's true feelings were revealed. She cried bitterly, and she was desperate to avenge her master. This friendship touched Huang Yaoshi, and Mei Chaofeng suffered a little loss at the hands of Guojing, which aroused Huang Yaoshi's mentality of protecting her. Mei Chaofeng just escaped. In the secret realm of this life, Qiu Qinren slipped away early, and without telling that lie, Mei Chaofeng also lost the opportunity to show off. At the same time, Guojing did not fight with Mei Chaofeng, and Huang Yaoshi had no reason to protect him. In this way, Mei Chaofeng's fate might not be good. The next morning, the 2 sides met again after breakfast, and it was time to talk about some serious matters. After Huang Yaoshi had a detailed discussion with Lu Chengfeng last night, he felt that Nanziren's method was indeed real and could cure his disciples. Huang Yaoshi had a total of 6 disciples. After Chen Xianfeng and Mei Chaofeng escaped, Lu Chengfeng, Chu Lingfeng, Wu Mianfeng, and Feng Mofeng were expelled from the sect after their tendons were cut. Lu Chengfeng reported to his master that junior brother Wu had passed away for many years, and he had not yet found out the whereabouts of junior brother Chu and junior brother Feng. But from now on, he will try his best to find them. After all, the motivation is different. In the past, it only took 5 points of effort to find them, because finding them was just a gathering for drinking. Now it is different. Being able to cure their legs is a big deal. Lu Changfeng must put 9 points of effort to find them. Although they haven't found it yet, Huang Yaoshi wants to make this a reality and ask Nan Ziren to promise to treat Chu Feng and the others. Nan Ziren's treatment method is very miraculous. Even if Huang Yaoshi knew it, he couldn't do it. This favor must be repaid. How could Peach Blossom Island easily owe others a favor? Lu Changfeng actually didn't have the ability to repay Nan Ziren, but Huang Yaoshi could. During the conversation, Huang Yaoshi proposed to give Peach Blossom Island's 3 unique skills, not only to repay the favor of treating Lu Changfeng, but also for Chu Lingfeng and Feng Mofeng in the future. At this point in time, Chu Lingfeng was actually dead, and Feng Mofeng might not be found. Huang Yaoshi would suffer a loss by taking out 3 unique skills at once. If it were Wang Feng, he would definitely be reluctant to pass on his unique skills to outsiders, no matter how kind the favor was. He would only pass on his skills to Wang Ke. But what kind of person is Dong Xie? How could he be so petty? Even if he passed on his unique skills, he was confident that he would be stronger. This is the fact. The skills of Peach Blossom Island can only be used by smart people. If a fool were to learn, even if he copied them, he would not be able to exert the greatest power. Even if a smart person learned it, Huang Laoxie would not be afraid. He was confident that he could create stronger kung fu. In terms of this demeanor alone, the East Evil is far superior to the West Poison, which is admirable. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 1125. Qi Men Shu Shu Bai Hai Chao Sheng Chu Luo Ying Shen Jian Zhang. There are many unique skills in Peach Blossom Island. Xiaoming chose these 3. Huang Yaoshi is an expert in Qi Men, Dunjia, Yin Yang, 5 elements, and 8 diagrams. This knowledge is very useful in Jin De Da's martial arts system. If placed in the real world, Xiaoming's circle and scan map can see through the whole scene, and the formation of the martial arts world will not harm him. It doesn't matter whether he learns or not. However, Xiaoming's original idea was to change some of the places that he felt regretful in the dozen secret realms of the martial arts planet, so he had to learn it. This knowledge is a bit difficult for Xiaoming, who has an average IQ. Fortunately, he doesn't need to learn to the level of Huang Yaoshi or Huang Rong. Lu Changfeng's level is probably enough. Lu Changfeng's intelligence is certainly above Xiaoming, but Xiaoming has enough clones to learn together, and he can use time to make up for the lack of ability. The Rising Sea Tide song is even more outstanding. Using internal energy to activate the song can confuse people's minds in a short period of time. Moreover, this is a skill for group attacks. After learning this song, you will not be afraid of being besieged by various large formations in the future. As long as the internal energy of the people setting up the formation is not high enough, a Rising Sea Tide song can deal with them all. Even if their internal energy is high enough, their minds will be affected, causing flaws in the formation. Xiaoming will be able to use it in the future. The falling sword palm is what Xiaoming asked for Zukong and others. He already has the 18 dragon subduing palms, and the complicated martial arts of the falling sword palm are not suitable for him. Nan Ziren's own martial arts are almost enough. But the other 7 monsters in Jiangnan do not have superior martial arts that match the internal energy of the Changshengju. Now it's better. The more straightforward ones, such as Kaijin Wu, Han Baoju, and Zhang Ashen, can practice the 18 dragon subduing palms. And the other smart ones, Zukong, Quan Jinfa, and Han Xiaoying, are not suitable for the 18 dragon subduing palms, and the falling sword palm is more suitable. Huang Yaoshi showed no sign of embarrassment on his face. He casually took out 3 booklets and handed them to Nan Ziren. Xiaoming was confused. Why did you carry so many secret books with you when you came out to find your daughter? Aren't you afraid of losing them? He realized that this was a game. Even if the NPC didn't carry the secret book with them, the system could still swipe it out. This also fits the characteristics of Huang Laoxiat. He was impatient to spend so much time teaching others. Especially the strange arts, which is a knowledge that can't be taught in a lifetime. It's easier to get a system book. Hong Kigong would teach Nanziren the 18 dragon subduing palms for such a long time because he was going to teach Nanziren for a while. He taught it by the way. After giving out the 3 books, Huang Yaoshi took his daughter and Mei Chaofeng away. He didn't give others the opportunity to chat with him more, and he didn't worry at all whether Nanziren would fulfill his promise. The name of the northern beggar Hong Kigong is a golden signboard. Although Rong'er was reluctant to leave Brother Jing and several masters, she still had to obey her father at this time. She and Guo Jing had decided to spend their lives together privately. If she wanted to have a good result, it would be difficult if she didn't coax her father into submission. So she followed Huang Yaoshi obediently. Before leaving, she blinked at Guo Jing desperately. I don't know if this silly brother understood. Huang Yaoshi's departure gave everyone a feeling of fleeing in panic. Everyone was a little puzzled. Zhu Kong's words woke everyone up. Is Senior Huang afraid that the 4th brother will mention Jing'er and Rong'er's marriage? Others looked enlightened, but Guo Jing blushed and didn't say anything. Mu Nianzi, Yang Kong, and Lu Guining couldn't help but make fun of him. Nanziren said, "Second brother is right. But Senior Huang underestimated us." Hearing this, not only Lu Changfeng and his son showed doubts, but Quan Jinfa, Han Baoju and several juniors also didn't understand what Nanziren was talking about. Nanziren continued, "If I propose marriage for Jing'er now, it would be suspected of repaying a favor. How can we, as chivalrous people, act like this? Besides, marriage is a big deal, and we should plan it well for Jing'er. Go to Peach Blossom Island with a big gift to propose marriage, so that we can be worthy of Jing'er and Rong'er." After these remarks, everyone present nodded in agreement. Even the silly boy Guo Jing nodded, and was inevitably teased again. Next, everyone will stay in Giun Manor for a few days, learn new kung fu, and discuss their future behavior. We tossed and turned all night yesterday without rest, so there was no need to continue to stay up today, and everyone went to bed early. After waiting for a while, Xiaoming quietly got up and planned to go out to do business. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. When he opened the door, he saw the man in green clothes and a small hat, dressed as a servant. It turned out to be a servant of Luya Manor. Xiaoming thought Lu Changfeng had something to ask him. "Look at the other person with an inquiring look." The man clasped his hands and said, "Who are you? It's your ability to replace Nanziren, but you're pushing the plot line too fast, aren't you?" Xiaoming was shocked. Oh, it turned out that this was a player. And he seemed to be very smart, and he could analyze his true situation. Awesome. In the game Wuxia Planet, Xiaoming knew the 14 secret realms of flying snow and shooting white deer, laughing book and hero relying on green mandarin duck. It is divided into 3 types: starting secret realm, improvement secret realm, and ultimate secret realm. Players need to progress step by step. At the beginning, you can only choose a starting secret realm. A certain achievement in the starting secret realm can open an improvement secret realm. Similarly, in the improved secret realm, you need to reach a certain level to open an ultimate secret realm. The Legend of the Condor Heroes belongs to the ultimate secret realm. At this time, only a part of the players have opened the improved secret realm. Those who can enter the ultimate secret realm are privileged players. This one is a member of the Shen family. He was ordered to be the front station in the secret realm of the Condor Heroes. He was a servant in Giun Manor, and maybe there were other people in the Shen family who were guards in the Zhao Wang mansion. This is a very smart way to play. Being a servant is not a high status, but the news is very well informed. It will just delay your martial arts training. Ordinary players rarely do this. Only groups like the Shen family that organize strategy games have this ability. Xiaoming got the right to replace an unimportant supporting role and enter the secret realm because he strengthened the game warehouse with source energy. He decided to replace Nan Ziren because he felt that the 7 freaks of Jiangnan had good character and a miserable ending. He changed the fate of the 7 freaks of Jiangnan with his own strength. Xiaoming did it. Since he replaced Nan Ziren, he has brought extremely eye-catching changes to the legend of the Condor Hero's secret realm. The martial arts of the Jiangnan 7 freaks have improved by leaps and bounds, and Nan Ziren has even become an elder in the Beggars sect. Such a major change is bound to be noticed by interested players. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 1126. Nan Ziren, played by Huang Xiaoming, invited the subordinate of the Shen family into the house for a detailed discussion. He gave the name Huang Huiwang. The man of the Shen family claimed that his surname was Xian and his name was Xinhai. This was the first time Xiaoming came into contact with this unconventional surname. However, seeing that his surname was homophonic with the Shen family's Xian, it might have been changed later. Although Xinhai was on the Sheneng 2 spacecraft, he was not the kind who could move freely. Sheneng 2 was an immigration spacecraft with limited resources, and only a dozen people could move freely. The rest of the immigrants were playing the martial arts planet game in the game cabin. There were many subordinates of the Shen family, and Xinhai was one of them. Xiaoming had a question about Xinhai. The Jiangnan 7 freaks was a group of 7 people, so how could he be sure that Nan Ziren was a player? In fact, this was nonsense. Nan Ziren was a very stable person in the original book, and he would never take the initiative to show off. Now there are so many inexplicable operations. Others are not blind, how can they not see it? As a family servant, he saw Nan Ziren tie with Huang Yaoshi using the 18 dragon subduing palms at the banquet last night. If this is not replaced by a player, it would be a ghost. Xiaoming said to Xianhai earnestly, Xianhai, as far as I know, your Shen family has no plans for the secret realm of the legend of the Condor Heroes, right? I don't care about advancing the plot. Xianhai replied, Mr. Huang, you can't say that. No matter how small a mosquito leg is, it is still meat. Besides, the big guys of all parties have already reached an agreement that they will not compete for the interests of the secret realm. What you are doing now is to take all the profits of the legend of the Condor Heroes. This doesn't seem appropriate. Xiaoming curled his lips. Although he didn't know what their agreement was in the past, it was absolutely impossible to say that all the benefits belonged to the Shen family. Is this kid cheating him? Xiaoming also argued, haha, what should I say? Brother Xinhai, that agreement has no binding force on me. Do you understand this? Xinhai certainly didn't understand. However, as a family unit that is attacking a large force, he has a certain understanding of the intricate relationship between the various forces. He can make up many special situations in his mind. It fits what Mr. Huang did. But he still has to argue, Mr. Huang, maybe you are indeed not bound. But you can't do everything. As the saying goes, God doesn't allow people to be too greedy. I advise you to think twice. The two people argued back and forth for a long time, and finally the two sides reached an agreement. Xiaoming gave the Shen family a copy of the Peach Blossom Island's secret skills as a price, and they can attack the Condor Hero's secret realm at will in the future, and even hire people from the Shen family to help. Not being able to use telepathy to observe the other party's true thoughts is troublesome during negotiations. Xiaoming guessed that the Shen family really didn't have any idea about the Condor hero's secret realm. They were already too busy just attacking the demigods and semi-devils' secret realm. Xinhai came to me, not to ask for punishment, but to make trouble. He was trying to get as much as he could from me. It would be best if he could borrow some more strength. Maybe the Shen family could surpass Tianlong in the secret realm of the legend of the Condor heroes. Xiaoming paid a portion of the unique skills of Peach Blossom Island, which was actually a bit too much. The reason why he didn't care about it was mainly because he had a good relationship with the Shen family, so it was not worth it. The Sheneng project was also an important project for the new Han Kingdom to expand to the outer space. Why bother if he could help? Besides, his parents also belonged to the Sheneng project. In addition, this was not giving up benefits, but sharing benefits. Just copy a copy of a unique skill to the Shen family. He and his people could continue to learn. At this time, Xiaoming had a bad idea. A few days later, he gave Xinhai a copy of Kimen Shushu. I can't just let myself worry about it, let's all be unlucky together. Xinhai got the secret book and smiled bitterly. Can this be learned in a short time? But he was happy and said. Learning Kimen numerology is difficult, but there are many people in the Shen family, and there are always talented people who can learn well. As long as they learn 30%, the Shen family will be able to show their power in various secret realms. Mr. Huang gave the secret book, although it was a bit bad, it actually has great value. Anyone who really has a little bad intention towards the Shen family will not be willing to give such a big gift package. Let's talk about Nan Ziren. After sending Xinhai away, he continued to go out to do business that night. What is it? Nothing else, Xiaoming wants to find the 9-yin manual. If the game system is still continuing the plot, Mei Chaofeng should have lost the 9-yin manual in Giun Manor. She did not appear at the banquet last night, and today Xiaoming saw Huang Yaoshi taking her away again. Then this should have happened. I just don't know where she lost it. There are too many possibilities. The cell where Mei Chaofeng was imprisoned, the places where Mei Chaofeng walked along the way, including the place where she hid last night, are all possible. Xiaoming secretly went out and searched for several days in Giun Manor, in the game. He never found it. It seems that he has no fate with the 9-yin manual. It doesn't matter, Guojing will definitely get the 9-yin manual in the future. It shouldn't be difficult for him to get a copy at that time. These days, Xiaoming told all about saving Yang Taixin and his wife, the Jin Yuan Bao plan, etc. He explained his ideas in detail to several brothers. Zhu Kong and Quan Jinfa applauded, while Ke Jinwu and Han Baoju were a little reluctant. However, the fourth brother has always been reliable in doing things. They believe that they are not as smart as Nan Ziren, let alone Zhu Kong and Quan Jinfa, so they did not strongly oppose it. For the sake of the overall situation, Wanyan Hungli will be spared for the time being. When he is no longer useful, it will not be too late to take revenge. Of course, the 7 monsters will not let the younger generations hear these words, especially Yang Kong. Not only does Nan Ziren not trust Yang Kong, but the other brothers do not trust him either. The more important thing at the moment is the competition between Guojing and Yang Kong. This involves the bet between Qiu Chuji and the 7 monsters of Jiangnan 18 years ago, and there must be a result. So, the 7 monsters of Jiangnan sent Yang Kong away and asked him to find his master Qiu Chuji. The Lu family father and son need to hurry up and mobilize people to find Chu Lingfeng and Feng Mofeng. The 7 freaks of Jiangnan took Guojing and Mu Nianxi all the way back to Niojia village, and asked Guojing to take a look at the old house before meeting up with Zhang Ashen and Han Xiaoying. In addition to learning different palm techniques, Xiaoming also needs to teach his brothers to practice the Tiangangbai formation. This is a tough job. The eldest brother Ke Jinwu is blind, so everyone must set up the formation with him as the center. Fortunately, Cajun Wu has been practicing the Changsheng Ju for a long time. Not only is his hearing extremely sensitive, but he can also have a subtle tacit understanding with Zhu Kong Quan Jin Jin. It is still possible to set up the Tiangang Baidu formation. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 1127. It was Sunday, September 18, which was the day recognized as the National Humiliation Day in China. Chinese citizens from all countries would hold commemorative activities. Xiaoming was now of course clear that this day was most likely commemorating the National Humiliation Day in another world. The high-level officials of various Chinese countries, including the 12 kings of the Great Qin, had read the book Ancient Strange People. They all knew what the ancestors meant, so they would not change it. At this time, Xiaoming also remembered that he had been asked about the year of the national humiliation of China in the game. At that time, it was quite hasty, and he had to rely on Mao Mao Er's help to list all the dates for selection. At that time, he used 1895 as the answer. Obtain the treasure Yada mirror. Now think about it, if I had answered 1931 at that time, maybe the reward would have been better. Forget it, it's over. At 12 noon on this day, whether it was Green Xiaoming in the Yu Hakusho world, Huang Xiaoming in the Sheneng spacecraft, or Silver Xiaoming in the zombie cave, they all left any game equipment in advance and stood in silence for 8 minutes. In fact, even if the players want to continue playing, they can't do it. The game is in shutdown state for 8 minutes. Not to mention the main game, even the various secret realms of large, medium, and small cannot be played. Even if the player lies in the game cabin, he can't see anything. These 8 minutes are legal. Xiaoming guessed that it should be to commemorate the 8 years of fighting against the enemy. Even Hong Xiaoming, whose soul is in the underworld, although he can't get out, still remains silent for 8 minutes on the spiritual level. This tribute is more meaningful. In the Pangustar world, the 12 kings of the Great Qin changed the fate of the Chinese nation. Xiaoming didn't have any special feelings about the National Humiliation Day before. Now, Xiaoming has more respect for the heroes and martyrs in another world. They don't have the golden fingers of the 12 kings of the Great Qin, and what they do is even greater and more difficult. After 8 minutes, several Xiaomings continued to be silent for a while before they continued their previous things. Only Huang Xiaoming couldn't do it. Because Miss Zinshui came to him on purpose. She really knows how to pick the time. As long as they are Chinese people in Pangustar, they generally won't miss the commemoration ceremony of the National Humiliation Day. It would be easier to find someone at this time. In fact, she had already come to Huang Xiaoming's room. It was just that Xiaoming was in the martial arts planet game at that time and didn't know it. As soon as the memorial ceremony was over, she came directly to ring the doorbell. It turned out that Captain Xianku invited the leader to come over to discuss something. Xiaoming went there happily. It is still very reliable to do business with the Xian family. He got a lot from the Xian family. The method of making Zanpakuto, the secret technique of impure world reincarnation, a corpse of an Arankar, and 2 corpses of hollows. Xiaoming benefited a lot now that the Xian family wants to take care of the business again. How can Xiaoming not be happy? Leader, Xian Shui suggested as they walked side by side, today is the weekend, let's team up to go to the reincarnation space to play games tonight, okay? Xiaoming looked embarrassed and said a little embarrassedly, our team is busy with some things recently, it's not very convenient. How about next time? Oh. Miss Xian Shui's face darkened. She finally mustered up the courage to speak, but she didn't expect to be rejected. The little girl was a little depressed. How could she know that Xiaoming's current situation was very special and he couldn't enter the reincarnation space at all? But Xian Shui was very gentle and didn't have that kind of eldest lady's temper. Besides, the leader was the benefactor of the Shen family, and she was only grateful in her heart. Xi and Shui accompanied the leader while chatting. Not long after, the two arrived at the bridge of Shenengtu. Inside the bridge, Captain Xianku was still connected to many medical instruments and hung with 7 or 8 bottles of colorful liquids. It seemed that he was still very ill. Xiaoming felt it carefully and found that his internal injuries had actually healed. Now his body is in the recovery stage, and it will not take long to regain his strength. When an S-level master really shows his power, the Shen family will surely usher in the next wave of rapid development. Seeing the leader coming, Xianku hurriedly and attentively invited Xiaoming to sit down. After a few pleasantries, they got to the point. On the way here, Xiaoming thought that the Shen family was looking for him, probably because of the legend of the Condor heroes. Xinhai discovered that some players replaced the characters in the plot and made major changes and progress in the plot. Did the Xian family have any plans and arrangements? The result was completely wrong. Xianku didn't think that the things in the secret realm of the legend of the Condor heroes were related to the leader. Moreover, the game cabin that the Xian family gave to the leader was the most ordinary game cabin, and only one starting secret realm could be chosen. In their opinion, the leader couldn't help for a while. On the contrary, another secret realm had a closer relationship with the leader. The Untold Story, one of the starting secret realms. Unexpectedly, it was controlled by the hostile forces of the Xian family, and several members of the Xian family stationed in the Untold Story were also bribed. For 3 years, they were domineering in the secret realm of the Untold Story and harmed the players. Although they couldn't kill people in the game, they could make all the players who entered the Untold Story unlucky. They couldn't play anymore, but they couldn't leave the secret realm. It can be said that it was miserable. It was Xiaoming who found the problem when he entered and told the Xian family. Afterwards, the Shen family was unable to allocate manpower due to internal and external troubles, so they asked the leader for help. Xiaoming arranged 2 groups of people to enter the secret realm to help. One group was retired soldiers led by Zhu Xingxiu, the other group was the insect humans under Xiaoming. These 2 groups of people entered the Lianchengju secret realm and immediately broke the original situation of the secret realm. The veterans are slightly weaker, so they join forces with players to wage a people's war against evil forces. The insect humans take the high-end route, and their physique is too good. Although it cannot be fully reflected in the game characters, it is enough to fight against the third-rate masters in the martial arts world. Where have the insect humans played such a fun game? They spread the word back and forth, and more insect humans entered Lianchengju. In order to support them in playing games, Maomoer and Xiao Shenan were exhausted. With the large-scale entry of insect humans, the hostile forces of the Xian family can no longer control the situation. So they changed their thinking and rushed to promote the plot. They planned to plunder all the good things in Lianchengju. Then go to other secret realms to mix. It is no longer possible to control a secret realm in the way of the underworld. Therefore, they plan to use rogue methods to mess up the various secret realms of the Xian family. In fact, this will not cause much trouble. But it will definitely make the Xian family sick. The Xian family also felt the signs of this crisis. So he quickly notified the leader, hoping that he could tell him about the helpers he had found. We can't let the enemy take over the Lianchengju secret realm. The Shen family would rather these resources fall into the hands of the leader's faction. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 1128. To be honest, the Xian family needs a reliable ally at this moment. Although Xianku's injury is gradually getting better, the previous losses and the resources consumed to treat Xianku are still too great. Some former business partners and allies have noticed that the Xian family is probably in trouble. Some people may ask, the Xian family has already moved out of Pangustar, what business partners do they need? Allies are not important, right? That's not the case. First, only 70% of the main force of the Xian family joined the Shannon plan, and a part of them stayed on Pangu Star as a backup. In case the Shannon plan goes wrong and the main force of the Xian family is wiped out, the remaining part can also allow the incense of the Xian family to be passed on. This is the tradition of the Huaxia family. So the Xian family did not exchange all the resources of Pangu Star, but left some businesses. Second, although the people of the Xian family have left, there is still a reincarnation space to connect the reincarnators together. No matter where the reincarnators are in the universe, they enter the same reincarnation space. Business in the reincarnation space can still continue, basically unaffected. However, since Xianku was seriously injured, even though the Xian family tried to cover it up, other forces still noticed some clues. Even the remaining part of the Xian family began to alienate Xianku. The warmth and coldness of human nature can be seen. At this time of internal and external troubles, the leader appeared. He has quite outstanding strength and solved several problems faced by the Xian family. Moreover, he actually has a very considerable power. Later, the Xian family sent 2 divisions to the Lianchengju world to observe the situation. They can roughly see that the leader has mobilized at least hundreds of masters to enter the Lianchengju secret realm. Mobilizing hundreds of martial arts masters is already terrible, and what is even more amazing is that the leader has also obtained hundreds of game cabins on the martial arts planet. Even the Xian family does not have much stock of this thing. I really don't know where the leader got it from. No matter what means the leader took, it proves that his power is amazing. The Xian family needs this ally very much. Of course, there are some misunderstandings. The Xian family didn't know that the masters Xiaoming mobilized were actually insect humans. They were not the forces of Pangu Star. Xiaoming didn't get so many game cabins, but Maomoer and Xiao Sheneng had special abilities. However, Xianku's positioning of the leader would only be lower than Xiaoming's own strength. He could not estimate how huge the leader's real power was anyway. Xiaoming agreed to Xianku's request. In terms of remuneration, the Xian family was a little embarrassed. Because this matter is a long-term process. According to long-term allies, the people sent by the leader to the martial arts planet game need to assist the Xian family in stabilizing the situation in various secret realms. Fight against the disruption of hostile forces. Such a big effort is worth it even if it is repaid with 1's level treasure. Even 2 pieces are not too much. If such a high price is paid at the beginning, the Xian family will lose. If the leader does not keep his promise, the Xian family will have no way at all. But if nothing is given, it is not very decent. So Xianku probably planned for a long time. At this time, he took out 2 very cute little foxes, all orange, each only the size of a palm, about the same size as a mouse. Xiaoming recognized them at a glance. These 2 foxes are not real creatures, but tailed beasts condensed by chakra in the world of Naruto. The strongest existence among the 9-tailed beasts, 9-tailed fox, also known as Julama. And it was separated from it, becoming a yin attribute 9-tailed fox and a yang attribute 9-tailed fox. Captain Xianku gave the yang attribute 9-tailed fox to Xiaoming, and the yin attribute to his daughter Xian Shui. Xiaoming felt that this matter was a bit strange, but Xian Shui liked it very much. Girls really have no resistance to cute pets. She agreed, and Xiaoming was embarrassed to refuse, and nodded. Then Xianku used the sealing technique to seal the 2 9-tailed foxes in their spiritual worlds respectively. Xiaoming admired in his heart that he was worthy of being the head of the family and an S-level master. Both strength and means were very powerful. Being able to obtain the tailed beast 9-tailed fox is already a great feat, separating it into 2 parts, yin and yang, and sealing them for himself and his daughter respectively. This move is even more wonderful. It perfectly solves the dilemma of returning the gift, and also implicitly brings himself and Xian Shui closer. Such a small nine-tailed fox is actually useless except for fun. It needs to be fed in the future. In this way, the return gift of the Xian family will be easier to handle. At a certain stage, the leader's power helps the Xian family to achieve some results, and Xian Ku can feed the leader once. The better the leader's power is, the more feed the Xian family will feed. In short, you get what you sow. This kind of growth type gift is most suitable for the current relationship between the Xian family and the leader. Of course, there are actually many growth type things, such as devil fruit. It can even be said that most of the good things in the reincarnation space are growth type. Because it is difficult for players to get the best version at the beginning, all the good things in the reincarnation space are set to be obtained in grades. In addition, the nine-tailed fox is divided into yin and yang, and there is an indescribable tacit understanding between them. It helps to enhance the relationship between Xian Shui and the leader. Xian Ku is still very satisfied with the leader. He also hopes that his daughter can win this good guy. It is more beneficial than harmful to both individuals and the family. Of course, Xian Ku is full of confidence in his daughter. Xian Shui is very beautiful and very much to the taste of Chinese people. It is just around the corner to take down the leader. However, although Xian Ku's idea is good, the reality is cruel. When the Yang attribute nine-tailed fox was sealed in Xiaoming's spiritual world, he was completely subdued by Xiaoming. Xiaoming has a Mangekyo Sheri Nan, and it is easy to subdue a tailed beast in its infancy. At the same time, with the help of the connection between the yin and yang nine tails, Xiaoming can completely subdue the yin attribute nine-tailed fox in Xian Shui's body at the same time, and can even directly control Xian Shui through the nine-tailed fox. Fortunately, Xiaoming is not that kind of person. In addition to letting the yin attribute nine-tailed fox keep it a secret for him, he did not hurt Xian Shui at all. After all, Xian Ku is an S-level master. If Xiaoming really tampered with his daughter's spirit, Xian Ku would definitely be able to find out, and then they would be completely torn apart. As long as the Xian family has no intention of harming him, Xiaoming will not do anything. He is even willing to help Xian Shui continue to grow. Xian Shui was very happy to get a pet from her father that was paired with the leader. She had a vague affection for the leader before, and her father's gift to the two of them indirectly expressed his approval. The leader's acceptance of the pet seemed to be an indirect acceptance of her. For a moment, the little girl's heart was like a deer beating wildly. She had to hold back and not run away. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhenshen. Chapter 1129. Miss Xinshui wanted to team up with the leader to play games, but Xiaoming refused on the pretext that the team had arrangements, and did not mention that he could not enter the reincarnation space for the time being. This matter is not easy to explain. Should I tell the Xian family that I am the ghost messenger of the underworld? It is a bit like showing off, and a bit like threatening, which is not appropriate. In fact, the soul gem only gives the civil servants of the underworld powerful abilities, and they don't want them to show off everywhere. Xiaoming was exposed because many people were monitoring him, and the black impermanence appeared and used a barrier to isolate the inside and outside. This kind of thing cannot be publicized unless it is necessary. Xinshui thought wrongly. She thought that since the leader could not leave for the reincarnation task at a fixed time every Monday, it would be okay now. The two of them can form a temporary team now, and use the random world invitation to go to the reincarnation world to enhance their relationship. However, the girl was thin-skinned and a little hesitant. On the one hand, she was a little shy, and on the other hand, it was because the Xian family was short of money recently. The props for the temporary team, plus the random world invitation of the team, are really a bit expensive. The XIN family has not completely escaped the crisis. It seems not good to take these precious resources out for a date. It's too extravagant. Just when she was undecided, XIN Ping pulled Huang Xiaoming away. He needed to use Xiaoming's magic to repair some things. Although there are still some auxiliary robots that have not been repaired, the existing ones are enough. This time, Xiaoming was not asked to repair the robots, but to repair some equipment on the spacecraft. He pulled Xiaoming away, and Xin Shui gave up the invitation plan and even felt relieved. While Huang Xiaoming was repairing, several shadow clones also conveyed the Xin family's entrustment to the insect humans and veterans such as Zhu Xingxiu. They all said that they would definitely work hard to complete the task. But the current task is a bit difficult. According to the information they provided, the enemy forces are indeed pushing the main plot of the secret realm of Lianchengju to compete for resources in the game. The current plot is about to advance to a big juncture, the Southern Four Wonders Falling Flowers and Flowing Water versus the Blood Knife Ancestor on the Snow Mountain. This is a very exciting drama. 4 of the 5 masters died in the end. How many martial arts secrets must have been dropped? No wonder the Shen family would remind themselves specifically. Since the enemy no longer confronts us on a large scale, they can gather more forces to pass the level. After all, they have been operating in the secret realm for a long time. Once they work hard to advance the plot, it is indeed difficult for the insect humans and veterans to catch up. At least not in the short term. After completing the repair work, Huang Xiaoming thought about it and decided to go into the Lianchengju secret realm to look at it. When logging into the game, the first thing to enter is naturally the previous Legend of the Condor Heroes secret realm. When Xiaoming is not there, the secret realm continues to run, and the character of Nancy Ren will be taken over by the intelligent program. This is different from the situation where the player disappears when he goes offline. I hurried to find an inn. In the room, Xiaoming exited the secret realm and entered the secret realm of Lianchengju. I still appeared in the place where I left last time, in an inn in Jingzhou. Fortunately, this is a convenience given by the system, and it does not charge players money. Even if the player is not offline, but is really resting in the inn, this cheapest room is free. Unless the player wants to stay in a high-end room, the price will be calculated separately. At this time, Xiaoming's character is in Jingzhou, and the next plot will take place in the Great Snow Mountain Range on the border of Sichuan, and will soon enter XZ. Not to mention the long journey, I haven't played the dungeons in the middle yet, which is the most troublesome thing. As a player, you must clear all the main dungeons that have been opened and catch up with the progress before you are eligible to open the latest plot dungeon. Xiaoming has just passed the dungeon of Diyun, entering the prison in the early stage. It is estimated that there are still many dungeons to pass, and he is stuck at this step. In fact, the insect people and veterans he sent are also stuck here. They are only responsible for confronting the people sent by the enemy and maintaining the order of the secret realm. They really have no time to advance the dungeon progress. Now we have just started to hurry up to pass the dungeon, and there are still a few people on the enemy side who are specifically making trouble for the players, and we can't just leave them alone. We need to allocate some manpower to deal with it. This will naturally slow down the progress of the dungeon. Fortunately, these dungeons not only blocked our side, but also blocked most of the enemy's personnel. Before, they sent people to infiltrate various places, guarding each dungeon separately, and preventing players from entering. So their people had no time to advance the dungeon progress, and now they are all forced to do it. This gives Xiaoming a chance to catch up. In the martial arts planet, only internal force is recognized. Without internal force, it depends on the physical fitness of the player. In this regard, insect humans and veterans have taken a lot of advantages. Physical fitness is generally good. Even most insect humans are suppressed to the level of advanced special forces by the game system due to their high physical attributes. This level is enough to deal with the initial dungeon battles, but it is not easy to deal with in the middle stage. To improve further, players must practice internal skills. The higher the internal skills, the better the effect. The Dragon Elephant Prajna Kung Fu is naturally a superior internal skill. Now Zhu Xingxiu and others are also practicing it, but the time of practice is too short after all, and there is no significant result. It is not easy for other people and insect humans to get good skills in the game. Because currently the first, second, and even third passes of all copies have been completed by the enemy. Some rewards for martial arts have also been obtained by the enemy. We currently have no channels to obtain advanced martial arts. It's not that there are none. In the main game of Wuxia Planet, The Legend of the Two Dragons of the Tang Dynasty, you can also obtain martial arts. But distant water cannot quench thirst. It's too late to go to the main game now. If everyone can catch up with the Battle of the Great Snow Mountain, there may be a chance to get good martial arts from the 5 masters. However, this matter may be difficult to handle. Judging from the current speed of passing the dungeon, before the enemy opens a new dungeon, the chance of catching up with the progress is very slim. It was not until Xiaoming came online that the unfavorable situation was changed. Because Xiaoming has an advantage that others do not have, high martial arts, and is recognized by the system. Players generally have a number requirement for dungeons, because it is really difficult to pass without too few people. The system is set up like this for a reason. Enemy players also took advantage of this. They filled each dungeon with people, leaving only one empty space. Whoever enters will be unlucky. Only Xiaoming at the time could break the situation with brute force. Now Xiaoming's martial arts have surpassed all the characters in this secret realm. I don't know if the male protagonist who has achieved great inner strength can be on par with Xiaoming. He can now enter any dungeon and open it alone. The system assumes that his strength is sufficient. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 1130. In the secret realm of Lian Chengju, Ding Dian, who was in the same cell, finally trusted Di Yun and taught Di Yun the Shen Zhaojing internal skills for several months. One day, he was worried that his girlfriend had an accident, so he took Di Yun out of prison. This is the next dungeon that Xiaoming needs to clear. Now time is tight, and it is not certain when the party hostile to the Shen family can start the dungeon of the Battle of the Great Snow Mountain. Xiaoming has no time to play slowly in the dungeon. He fired hidden weapons all the way and knocked down all the NPCs arranged by the system. Anyway, there is no good person in the dungeon except Ding Dian and Di Yun. Even so, Xiaoming still focuses on knocking down, and will not kill if it is not necessary. When he killed in the prison, he happened to meet the 2 protagonists who escaped from prison. It can be seen that Xiaoming's advancement speed is too fast. Ding Dian and Di Yun did not recognize him. Although Xiaoming met them in the last dungeon, he accumulated hidden favorability. But the memory will not be retained. This favorability is still useful in the next dungeon. At least the 2 of them didn't attack him. The 3 of them rushed out of the prison together. After leaving the prison, Ding Dian was going to find a blacksmith to remove the shackles on the 2 and the iron chains on their scapula. Since Xiaoming appeared, there was no need to bother. Xiaoming handled such a small operation by himself, and used the true qi of Chang Shengju to nourish the 2, so the 2 did not suffer much damage. In the original plot, Ding Dian sneaked into the house of Ling's Hifa with Di Yun, and no one intercepted him on the way. After Xiaoming joined, there were many servants of Ling Mansion and disciples of Wan family blocking the way along the way. These NPCs actually have some martial arts, and their combat power is comparable to that of special forces, and some are even stronger. And they only block the players, and ignore the 2 plot characters. Players need to fight all the way through. If they lose them, it will be difficult to deal with. Of course, such troubles are equivalent to nothing for Xiaoming, but there are a lot of stones scattered, and he has to keep picking up some along the way to be enough. Seeing Xiaoming's foot speed not slowing down at all, he casually hit people with stones, and there was no one to fight. Ding Dian secretly admired him. Going deep into the prefect's house, Ling Shuanghua's morning hall appeared in front of the three people. Ling Shuanghua is the daughter of the villain Ling's Hifu, and she is also in love with Ding Dian. Seeing Ling Shuanghua's coffin, Ding Dian jumped and rushed over. Xiaoming is familiar with the plot and knows that the coffin is poisonous. He quickly blocked Ding Dian and shouted, "The coffin is poisonous. Brother Ding, be careful." Someone stopped him, and although it was a friend who had just walked with him, Ding Dian almost killed him directly. Fortunately, Xiaoming's shout was very timely, and Ding Dian woke up immediately, so the two did not fight. There was a curse outside the door. "Huh! Where did you come from, thief? How dare you ruin my big thing?" The person who spoke walked in surrounded by dozens of servants. The person who came was Ling Tuisi, the prefect of Jingzhou. Although he passed the imperial examination and served as a Hanlin, he was actually the leader of the Longsha gang in the Two Lakes. He was not only outstanding in literary talent, but also very good in martial arts. He discovered from history books that a huge amount of treasure was buried in a certain place in Jingzhou city. He spent money to find connections and became the prefect of Jingzhou Prefecture, and devoted himself to finding the treasure. Who would have thought that Ding Dian knew the secret of this treasure? Ling Tuisi did not dare to ask directly, fearing that if he asked, Ding Dian would be scared away. So he designed a poisoning and imprisoned his daughter, and imprisoned Ding Dian. If Ding Dian was smarter, he should have taken Ling Shuanghua away early. Ling Tuisi also knew that a small prison could not hold Ding Dian at all. So he used their feelings to restrain the two and forced his daughter to take a poisonous oath. But this alone was not enough insurance. Ling Tuisi judged others by himself and felt that Ding Dian might act or escape at any time regardless of the consequences. He was always worried. A few days ago, he finally made up his mind, and was angry that his daughter refused to help him, so he suffocated his daughter to death in the coffin. He also put the deadly poison Jinbo Sunhua on the coffin board. He set up a mourning hall and set a trap to wait for Ding Dian. Ding Dian really came with Diyun. It is said that even a tiger will not eat its own cubs, but this Ling Tuisi is more vicious than an animal. He is simply unscrupulous. If Xiaoming had not called out on the spot, Ding Dian would have been poisoned, and no matter how high his martial arts skills were, it would have been useless. Ling's Hifa could have taken the opportunity to capture Ding and Di, and then use other methods to force them. Now that everything was messed up by Xiaoming, Ling's Hifa could not help but be furious and rushed in with his men. But although they had more people, their martial arts were not good. Although Ling's Hifa was better, he was not taken seriously by Xiaoming. Xiaoming knew that Ding Dian had never had the heart to kill Ling's Hifa because he was Ling Shuanghua's father. Ling Tuisi also relied on this point to dare to show up. So he took the initiative to expose Ling Tuisi's beastly behavior of killing his daughter, snatched a weapon and opened the coffin, allowing Ding Dian to see the scratches left by Ling Shuanghua before her death. Ding Dian couldn't help but burst into tears, and then went on a killing spree, killing all Ling's Hifu and his men. This time, there was no reason to stop Ding Dian from killing. After killing Ling's Hifu, the three took out Miss Ling's body. It was enough for Ling's Hifu to poison the coffin, but there was no need to poison the body. It is estimated that he dare not open the house to see his daughter's death. The three rushed out of the Hifu's mansion with the body. They were intercepted by hundreds of officers and servants. Ding Dian and Xiaoming worked together, and these officers and soldiers were no match at all. Of course, it was mainly because Xiaoming's machine gun-like hidden weapon ability was too amazing. After rushing out of the mansion, the dungeon was officially completed. Everything Xiaoming changed in the dungeon turned into nothingness, and had no effect on the plot of the secret realm. Xiaoming sighed. In Lian Chengju, Ding Dian, and Ling Shuanghua, Di Yun and Qi Fang were all very pitiful people. Xiaoming's sympathy for them was even higher than his sympathy for the 7 freaks of Jiangnan. If he had the ability to change the plot earlier, Xiaoming would definitely choose to help them first. Unfortunately, this secret realm is a starting secret realm, and the player has entered the secret realm for nearly 3 years. Several plot points that can change fate have long been missed. Xiaoming sighed silently and accepted the 1 year of internal force rewarded by the system. Turned and left. After all, this is a dungeon that has been cleared many times by others. Even if Xiaoming did very well, the reward was only 1 year of internal force. This is a good reward for other players, but for Xiaoming, it is better than nothing. What is really useful is the favorability of the protagonist. At this time, Ding Dian is dead, but Di Yun's favorability towards Xiaoming has increased a lot. In the future, when they meet in the dungeon, Di Yun will trust Xiaoming more. I just don't know what the protagonist's attitude towards Xiaoming will be outside the dungeon. I will try it out when I have the chance. Xiaoming estimates that the favorability between the player and the plot characters should be a consumable. Just like money, it can be used to buy things from the plot characters.